Yes, we have been for some time. While you were talking about the map. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that works for me. Yeah, I don't know, but what would we ask them for? What would we be asking them for? So we'd essentially try and hire them as bodyguards? Hmm. We're not going. Yeah, I just can't. Yeah. No, that's fine. probably out. Like, probably don't spend a lot of the day actually here. Just mainly using it as lodgings. I mean,
You've got a 25% discount. Alright, keep pushing. I want to see what happens against a powerful wizard. Oh, why even bother? Don't trust this man's gut.
yeah, no, I've just had. No, I've just had Abby come in and something is up with stream. So none of this is going out because I'm having audio issues. So keep going and I'm going to try and deal with this in the background.
I need to
Step
tell
up.
us.
As you step in and begin looking around the store, this guy, this pear-shaped man, you know, bald head, very sort of. The man is clearly, to be nice about it, the man has clearly taken a couple of blows to the head every now and again in his life. He's a little bit older, rather rotund stomach. He wears the sort of apron and has the tools of a blacksmith around his belt, and his hammer is this sort of light hammer in his hand that he uses to forge weapons. Seems to have a little bit of a glow just about it, this innate sort of glow and these sort of carvings around it. And he steps in, sort of in front of you. Goes, hello. What can I get for you?
Sir.
What can I get for you?
I am a proficient archer. I would be very interested to see what magical arrows you might have.
Oh
in
yeah,
your
they're in the
shop.
basket.
In the basket.
Yeah, in the basket.
Okay, look in the basket then, sir.
Awesome.
Customer service, great.
I'll go show you the basket.
This is like the B-Tech version of what Oramis just went through with his shop.
And he walks over with you to the basket, and there's a guy
Really
looking in this. And there's a guy looking in this basket. The man has a short bow on his back and a hand crossbow just on his side. Clearly, a guy who predominantly only uses ranged weapons. And he's looking through the stuff, and this guy with his gut just sort of bumps him out of the way and goes, "Basket. Have a look."
You do
Don't
take good
steal.
care of your stock, don't you?
Oh yes, of course. Counting it all up on my fingers. Yeah.
Okay, well let's investigate the basket. What's inside?
Coolio. So inside the basket there are a few different things. So there's a couple of arrows that are just like generic +1 arrows that have different sort of tips and things like that. You can find a arrow of fear. This arrow will essentially put the fear, the frightened effect on a target you hit if they fail a wisdom saving throw. As it's fired as well, it has these little sort of nooks in it. So as it flies through the air, it creates this really, really loud whistling noise that to the target you're firing at, may sound like something entirely different. The roar of an animal, or the screech of a bird, or something like that, to sort of essentially have the fear effect. Pardon me. So that's that. You have the arrow of stopping. So if you hit a target with this arrow, you can essentially half their movement, reduce their movement by a certain amount, depending on the size of the creature. Creatures of your size or smaller have their speed reduced to 0 until the start of their next turn if they fail a save. Larger creatures have their speed halved after a save. You have arrows that just do generic damage, like you have a little arrow with a little poison tip. You have an arrow that has a sort of fiery tip on it as well. You do also see 1 or 2 magic bows about the place as well. Some interesting pieces there as well. That's predominantly it. There is also one other arrow. It's called the platform arrow. Basically, you fire it into a space, and it creates a 5x5 foot platform wherever you want, as long as you can shoot it with range. So if there's a gap, fire it into the gap. Bing! Creates a platform. It's almost like innately attuned with you to, not, you don't have to attune to the arrow, but you just fire it into the space and bing, creates a platform. Yeah.
Nothing really that stands out to me. So I also noticed you have this magical bow on the wall. Can you tell me a bit about that, please?
So the magical bow on the wall is the bow of the huntsman. A very, very fancy bow. So this bow needs to be attuned to, well, it can be attuned to by anyone. If it is attuned to, funnily enough, by a ranger, You deal an extra 1d6 damage to any of your favored enemies. Otherwise, it deals 1d6 extra damage to Fae and Fiends. But it'll take up an attunement slot. It'll be a +1 bow, so you have a +1 to hit with it, with all of your arrows, and and all of your arrows will be considered magical as well when firing from it. But it will, deal an extra d6 damage against favored enemies. So
Does
for
that
you,
affect
that's
stack if your favored enemy was fiends or fae.
what do you mean with a stack?
So you said if you hit your favourite enemy, you do an extra 1d6. Otherwise, it does an extra 1d6 to fiends or fae. If your favourite enemy was a fiend or fae, would that be 2d6 extra?
No. That's just like the standard that's with the. That's the sort of standard that's with the bow. It was created ironically by a fae creature to defeat fiends. The fae, according to the little plaque that's in it, his only weakness was his own bow, and sadly, that's what he was killed with. And now the bow's here.
How much
so
for this bow, Victor?
This bow would cost in the region of, well, I forgot to do the voice. But let me look. Walks behind the counter and pulls out a lot of like scraps of paper and stuff like that. And he doesn't even put them down. He just grabs it, takes it, holds it up to the light, and then just throws it on the floor. Grabs it, takes it, throws it on the floor. About 700 gold. That is, not the silvery ones.
Right. I can't think of the right thing to say here. Exposure.
I'm a guardian.
Foolproof.
As you're
I'll cut you.
As you're looking at this guy, a slightly more apt and able guy walks up behind him, a dwarf. He's got this black hair sort of like pulled back into a ponytail behind his head, fairly short beard, steps up, lots of like rings up his arms and things like that. Oh, hi, you're talking to my brother here. Looking for the bow. Archer, are you? Yes, I can see you got lots of, nice quiver. Yes, as my brother said, that'll be 700 gold pieces for you. You can go now. You can go now, Grod. I like talking to people. I like talking to people. I want to talk to this one. All right. Stay there then. 700 gold pieces. Unless you have anything to trade or barter or something.
Well, I've only got 500 on me at the moment. So, are you willing to go down?
The age-old matchstick.
Yeah.
500 might be a little bit low for us to go down. Maybe 700 gold pieces might go down to 650, 625, but 500 is a little bit low at the present moment. I'm very, very sorry for it.
I don't really think I've got anything I can trade, or rather, I'm willing to trade.
Guess I'll buy it for you.
The notorious Mazzy Charm.
I'm trying to see if you actually do have anything
I don't.
to trade. Got some random potions, pittance, deck of cards.
I really want to do some type of persuasion, but I just don't trust my roll. Got -1.
Oh, just give it a go. Why not? Oh, no, don't give it a go. That's rubbish.
Oh, you never know. There's a 20 in there somewhere.
Yeah, it could be. Well, I'm going to roll it and then think.
Not with the one, actually.
See, that's why I didn't. So
You've actually put the price up with that.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, friend, but no, it's the price is set as is set. I'm sorry. Maybe I could go down to 650, but I'm very sorry. Sorry about that, there, friend.
I'll, as I said, don't have the money on me, so no deal today then, I'm afraid.
Ah, fair enough. Happens, my good man. Happens. Well, if there's anything else in our shop we can sell to you, that'd be grand. But otherwise, have a
When I
fun
go
day,
out-
sir. Yeah.
When I go out, can I find Oramis and go, I know you're really good at persuasion. You're a very persuasive person.
Yeah, as you sort of step out of the shop, Oramis
I am not
did a bit
persuasive
more
person.
had a bit more debating than you, so you have to almost have to like wait around for him, and he comes over to your store. Yeah, so you guys can do all that stuff.
Would you be willing to get this magic away from me?
I storm into that shop
Yeah.
and I say, "How dare you? How dare you reject General Daviak from your puny little shop? You turned down a general of the Royal Army. Filth."
Roll a deception check.
As it happens, I'm pretty good at them too.
Because I'm still -1 on that.
Oh,
Deception.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my fucking God.
Oh my fuck.
The man just stands
I'm
there.
gonna suddenly
and is-
stand up like really empowering and righteous.
If this
I
man
suddenly feel
wants
like
a
a
bow
general.
for 500
Just him
gold,
coming
he
in here
gets
has made
his
me
bow.
feel like a general.
He just stands there. The man was so humble. He never said that. He never said he was a general. I mean,
You don't know by
you-
looking at him?
looks at the big oaf of a man, sort of elbows him, and it's like, "You idiot! Why did you not recognize him?" Don't know. Okay. I'm terribly sorry, General. Army man myself. Or was anyway. Terribly sorry. Yes. Tell you, on second thought, knowing this bow is going to a man of such skill and probably going to be used for the greater good, I think 500 would suffice. Yeah.
I'll just pat Mazzy on the back as I walk out.
Who? Sorry, Luke.
Eh?
I think you mean General Daviat.
I'll say thank you,
General
Lieutenant.
Maziak.
General Mazzarious.
Thank you. And he takes the bow, and then you immediately just like hear him just having a go at the rather dumb one. But how dare you turn the? Why did you not recognize it was him? Of course it was him, you idiot! And then you just hear this loud thud. As you look back through the window, you can see this big guy's put the dwarf on his ass like that, for shouting at him. And with that, it takes a couple of hours to get all this stuff done. You head back to your thing. Oramis, you've now got your fancy eye. You now don't have any disadvantage on perception checks or anything like that anymore, and your passive perception is as was. And
Just a quick.
oh yeah,
We don't have to roleplay this in the interest of brevity, but I think. How much do you think we got? So I've got about 1,000 gold as Giri. How much do you think we'd have got from selling all the shit that we picked up when we fought? Mazzarious?
let me have a look. So, what stuff would you like to sell?
I mean, most of it. His armor and the swords was the main thing. He had some quite nice plate armor. Didn't he?
He did have some rather fancy plate armor. The only problem was that is for particularly, he was very, very tall.
Large, but you can
very, very nicely. But yeah, so
sell it to someone large or melt it down.
yeah, so a guy would buy that. I mean, plate armor costs 1,500 gold. He'll buy that because of the amount of work he'll have to do to it. He'll buy that for 1,500 gold. So there you go. Add 1,500 gold.
So we split that 4 ways. So what's that? About 400 each. Just under.
Yeah. 425.
375.
Well, you'll get 500 each because there's no mittens unless you're giving Daviak a share.
No,
yeah,
I'm not giving
Daviak's fine.
Daviak.
He's on payroll, so it's fine.
Wait, so Nevado's getting some dollar.
Nevado's getting some dollar, yeah.
Yeah, it's 500.
So, yeah.
Okay, right. I will then buy. I'd like to buy some plate armor,
Yeah.
but I've got an effect on mine which is Kubo armor. Creatures friendly to me within 30 feet have advantage against being frightened or charmed. I don't know how that's imbued in the armor, but I'd like to transfer that over to the plate, if that's possible.
So your armor is what at the minute? It's the equivalent of half plate, right? Splint. Okay. Well, this guy basically says that what you can do is he can add to your armor to make yours effectively splint. So he can still keep the aesthetic of the Kubo armor, that samurai-esque aesthetic, but essentially just adding more plates underneath some of the splints, adding padding and also extra sort of rivets in places to patch up some of the gaps in your armor as well, and things like that. That would cost you around 1,000 gold to have all of that done and imbued with the magic of the thing as well.
Sorry, Ben. I'm having a conversation with myself between my three characters in the chat.
Should be them in the library. Has Glydan probably has a Glydan, I guess. I'll take it off of my character sheet. Man loves books. I do. What a nerd. Of course.
I'm so alone. Yeah, sorry. What
so
was...
1,000 gold
1,000
to essentially upgrade your current armor to splint. So the plate even, yes. Upgrade your armor to plate.
That's an armor class of 18, and that's going to cost me 1,000 gold. Okay.
Cool. Anything else you wanted to sell? Anything else any of your characters wanted to sell, to be fair? While you're in the capital, we might as well get that done now.
I've got 5
The only one
gems
that we
and
had.
an uncut gem.
5 gems and an uncut gem.
Oramis.
I'm just going to say they're 600 gold.
Sick.
You just got back what you spent.
Is that for Oramis or is that for Nevada?
You're smashing this business thing.
That's
As
Oramis.
Oramis, yeah. 600 gold, there you go. Can't remember where they're from, can't be bothered to try and remember.
Was it pearls or gems?
Gems. But maybe.
I believe you did sell the pearls already.
Yeah, I think I
I
did.
think you might be right.
Cool. And with the anything else for any more on the selling front, getting money
No, I
front.
think we'll skip to ever meeting
Cool.
each
Yep.
other.
So the night draws on. You get back to the Western Tavern, and as everyone sort of gets back to the Western Tavern, you sit down for a drink, maybe an evening meal, and this is when Doc, Glydan, and Nathan come in. As you all enter, you can see Doc has now trimmed himself up a little bit. He's got a little bit of a haircut. His beard is now trimmed a little nicer. He's not wearing the old sort of drab, like doctor's coat he was before. He's now wearing quite fancy robes, still with that somewhat aesthetic of a doctor or healer, but now a little bit fancier with some golden trim for the god Palor and things like that. I believe I got that right, didn't I, JJ? Any other amendments you want to make to that? Or
Yeah, the god is Apollo, but that's...
Apollo, not Palor. Apollo.
We've only been doing this campaign for 18 months. It's
No,
fine.
I've been thinking of stuff for Luke's character all day, and I got confused.
Yeah,
yes.
they're like, the robes are, as you said, rather than being this like traditional sort of like lab coat style that was like cut up and patched and all of that, they are more traditional robes. Still like, with the armor over the top and stuff like that.
That's fair.
But they are a more like golden yellow color.
That's fair. You can also see on his side, he's now carrying a skull.
Yeah.
The skull itself is greyed, like it's not like the white of a skull; it's like grey, and it has these 2 small circles on its side and a band of glowing, sort of bluish energy going around its head, and these 2 circles on its side. Glyndon steps in. He now wears much fancier robes. His robes they now have some layers.
Is this like a fashion show?
This is
Sorry.
I'm just stating the changes that people would obviously notice. So as you step in,
Yeah, that's fine.
you've got some nice fancier robes, and as you look at them for just like more than, as you like take a proper look at them, there is a slight glimmer in them a little bit, as well as you've now another younger lad steps in. He's sort of late teens, like 18, 19. Messy, sort of black hair, slightly darker skin. wears these orange robes that don't really denote a wizard. They more denote some kind of entertainer, but not massively. They're fairly like generic robes that he's just given a bit of flair to. You all greet each other and make your hellos, make your greetings. You haven't seen each other in a couple of weeks, and my, what a couple of weeks they have been.
Oramis, what happened to your eye? It's no longer silver.
No, it's not. I'm no longer connected with that bastard Dolus.
Oh, good. What did that cost?
My eye. And my soul.
And anything else? Doesn't seem like you can just abandon something like that for free. Well, it's minor cost like your eye.
Just my soul.
Sorry?
Sorry, what?
It's just my soul. Vengeance is what it costs. I killed Halahand. I avenged my wife. And I broke the deal with Dolus.
When you say you killed Halahand, Griffin's just gonna like cough. Like.
I did kill him. You didn't kill him.
By yourself?
You just got the assist.
Can we just go back to this
Thank you.
no soul deal? Also,
I
you have 2 eyes, but you lost an eye?
Yeah, I bought this one today.
Oh, you know I could have like fixed that in like a minute.
You're joking. 600 gold.
No, I can grow back body parts now. I could have, just like a minute and you'd have had your eye back.
Oh, man. Are you joking?
No, I'm deadly serious. Calculus regenerate now.
Mazzy, did I get a receipt from that shop?
Matt, you're on mute.
He's still on mute.
He's still on mute.
Oh shit. I definitely got a receipt because the guy was fiddling around with them, but I don't know about you.
Oh, damn. I didn't realise you were that good of a healer, to be honest.
I mean, you have just proven how good your persuasion is. You could just go back, say you're not happy.
I may have to reassess later, like tomorrow perhaps, but
Is it not a better eye than you had before?
It comes with some magical perks.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Probably an upgrade.
Yeah, it is a bit of an upgrade. Just came at a cost.
Indeed.
So does everything these days, apparently.
Listen, nice you had a little retreat, found yourself, whatever, all that shit. We've got some stuff to tell you.
Me too, I've got a bigger bow.
Went on. No!
Daviak also comes in.
Order here.
So
I have
to hear it.
the cons.
Whatever pills that wizard sold you probably don't work.
Daviak also sort of walks back from the bar now, so I also have some stuff to say. And then you hear a voice, I also have stuff to say. Dokrumir, get over here, you big bastard! Drops all the drinks he was carrying, runs up and gives your leg a big hug.
Fergus.
Hey, lads!
How many people have we got here? We got Griffin,
Oramis,
Oramis,
Mazzy,
Mazzy, Nathan, Glydan, Doc, Angus, Giri, Balzador. 9?
Yeah, about 9, yeah.
What party?
Daviak.
Daviak 10. Yeah. This is... Yeah, you guys ain't fitting in this booth. It's really...
We basically just brought out the pub.
Yeah, the barman is like really rushing to try and get chairs over, and then he suddenly realizes, oh, this is not going to work. Walks over to a bunch of people like, get up, just get. And these people go, what? Get the fuck up, or you're getting out of this fucking place. You can have the booth. You can have the Guardian's booth. Yes, get up and have the Guardian's booth. This is their booth now. This is where they're sitting there. Oh, fucking hell, all right. They get up, and you guys now have like 2 tables that he very quickly shoves together. Says down, oh, cushions! Runs off, grabs some cushions, sets them down. Okay, and this guy is like bright glowing red now as he steps back to the bar. I need some water after that. Yes, and you can all sit down, have a lovely drink, and regale your stories. Now, did you guys want to do the recaps, or did you want me to do the recaps? I don't mind either way.
You do that, and maybe we
Take a
can-
break now and think about it.
Yes, actually, yeah. Now's probably a pretty good time for a break. So we'll take a quick break now and do the recap in just a quick little second. See you all in 5 minutes. So, yes, did you guys want me to go through the recap, or did you guys want to go through the recap? I am easy either way. If I go through it, I'm just going to say everything I remember. If you guys go through it, you can add or take away anything you guys want, or anything like that. So, it depends on what you want to do.
You go for it, we'll jump in if we have any comments.
Cool.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So, we'll start off with Oramis.
Unless you want to go for it.
That's all right. I feel like Ben will do a better job.
I mean, you say that now, but...
Pressure's on Ben.
So...
Excellent job only, please.
Excellent job only. Okay, so we begin the recap with Oramis, Mazzy, and Griffin. So, the night after you guys all split up, you met Griffin and Felix. Griffin, a paladin of Tyr who was sent by Tyr to redeem himself, and also to help with, redeem himself by helping with these priests of Tiamat. Felix, a gnome tinkerer and wizard and fighter, who was here with Griffin, kind of tagging along, but also, being there for his friend and stuff. The two of them, with the two of them, you traveled to the Shattered Coast, a very strange town. You soon found out a very, very strange town indeed. When there, you got a tip from your old friend, Hakada, that some of the crew of the Black Gale, the ship of Halahand, was in town, and so you went, and after a pretty rough bar fight, we bit a guy's ear off. You interrogated the guy and got him to tell you where Halahand might be. You went to this place, and you found out that Halahand had some friends in the Sahwajin. You defeated all of them, went through their went through this old temple of Njord, the god of the seas, and at the end of it, you found Halahand trying to steal some kind of vessel. Halahand had a partner, a druid, as well. Safwagin. So after fighting Halahand and the guardian of the temple that soon emerged, Halahand sadly escaped, and you guys, after finishing the beast, were able to go back to the Shattered Coast and try and figure out some plans from there. From there, after someone tried to attempt the admiral, the head of the the leader of the Shattered Coast, you gained his trust by saving him from this assassination attempt and tracking down the guy who tried to assassinate him, and you learned where Halahand was. You rallied a small fleet, took on Halahand, and in the end, you won. Now, Oramis, how much would you tell about your curse and about your, who your new patrons are and things like that?
I'd be pretty vague. I'd just sort of say, I'm free of Dolus. I've avenged my wife, avenged the death, killed Halahand, and I'm very fond of my new ship.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Very, very fond of my new ship.
Very, very fond of your new ship.
Makes me feel powerful.
Some would even say attached.
Yes, very attached to his
I am
new ship.
attached, very attached to my new ship.
You might also mention to Glydan, as he has the spell, that there is a teleportation circle of
yes.
on the ship.
My new ship has teleportation circle.
You do innately know that, though you can't cast the spell. You innately know its sigil. So if you wanted to copy that down for Glydan to have a look at, and maybe have for future reference, you could. That would take. It would probably take the rest of the evening to do, but you could probably do that. Just sat there, half drunkenly scribbling this teleportation circle that you do as your
performance check, please.
No, it's weird. As he begins to do it, he almost just innately it's almost as if his hand doesn't belong to him, and it comes out perfectly. This perfect illustration of a teleportation circle.
Is that? Would we notice that's a bit suspicious?
I mean, I don't know.
You've never seen Oramis draw before.
Yeah, you've never necessarily seen Oramis draw before.
But I'm aware you're a bit bevved and you've just drawn a perfect magical sigil.
I mean, Oramis, you can make a deception check compared to an insight check if you like. From Glydan, but
Can I actually beat that? No. I'll try.
You'll try.
Oh, I haven't rolled any divination rolls for today.
You will try.
Oh, see, even they're both good, but even with them, I still don't
Beat
beat
him.
him. Oh, I'm gonna try for the nat.
Give it a
Let's
try.
go.
Nah.
No.
You just think, oh shit, that's impressive. Fair enough, yeah. And you can stick that in your book for future keeping. That probably takes like most of the evening after you've done this quick little meetup. And on the way back, after defeating Hallowhand, you mentioned that a cultist, a priest of some kind, was in the middle of the town square, and he said that the Black Prophet would wipe away all the weakness in the land, give people strength, and that you Guardians, or us Guardians, were following the wrong path, and that we needed to be enlightened, take shade under his great wing against the flames that will birth this world anew. Definitely a little bit creepy. What was even more creepy was that the guy had burn marks all the way up his hands, all the way up his arms, that he dipped his hands in some acid or something. And then immediately after this, he burst into just a pool of acid himself. Definitely creepy. On your way back, you also mentioned that you saw some similar cultists who were talking about Tyr and how he was giving bad judgment, and how many of the gods were falsely accusing people in the world, bringing down bad judgment and bad shit upon the world, whereas Tiamat wouldn't be that bad, and the Black Prophet will guide us to her wisdom and to her light. And these people also had marks upon their hands, some of them from different elemental types. One guy had a burn mark over his left hand. One guy had a lightning, these marks of he'd been struck by lightning or had electricity thing through his arm, and you could see the sort of pattern all through his arm, and different stuff like that. So that was basically the Shattered Coast. Doc and Glyndon. You guys took Marcool's body to the mountains, where you met many of his people. You convinced them to join many of the other Dragonborn in the north, and you did the funeral for Marcool. It's a very lovely service. After which, you headed to this library that you wanted to go to. Along the way, you met two people, a tiefling sorcerer named Thea, and a moonstone dragonborn warrior named Celine. The two helped you get into the temple, wherein you met Cathaniel. And as soon as you mentioned Cathaniel, you both realized that the skull on Doc's side goes, "Hello there.
What the?
I'm Cathaniel. Sorry, I've been a little dozy today. Hello. Broom? Where are you? Introduce yourself." And you guys realize that slowly walking over the way is a literal broom. Not like some old fancy broom, like one of the more modern ones we have now is a long staff and then a crossbeam and then the bristles on the bottom, and it's literally walking over, like the bristles in the middle have parted, created 2 feet, and just sort of, and then as it gets to you, it just sort of stops for a minute, and then imagine this is like, the broom here just goes along the floor as if to say hello.
What the hell is that? And what the hell is that?
This is Nathaniel. He's the guardian, or was the guardian of the library.
Yes, I'm sadly not there anymore.
Terrible curse that left him trapped there.
And now I'm a skull. He has my heart. Or he doesn't actually move his head. He just goes like, "He has my heart," and then Doc has my heart. And this is Broom.
Why?
Well,
I
keeps me
felt
alive,
sorry
of course.
for him. He was trapped all on his own, and now he can see the world.
Yes. I mean, I've seen most of the world, but that was like 700 years ago. No, 7,000 years ago. Sorry, how time flies by. Anyway, yes. Don't be alarmed. I'm quite the poet, quite the philosopher, and quite the philanthropist. Or at least I was when I actually had money. I don't have any money anymore. No, I'm just a head. Oh yeah, and Brom can fly. We only found
What
that out recently, though.
did you get
even though
yourselves into?
Oh, it was an absolute riot.
they tell you how they went. They tell you how they went into the library and found out that someone else was in there, wanting to look through some of the books as well. A fiend by the name of Arcanoloth. This fiend wanted to summon something. He thought he was summoning Erebos, the god of death. That was not the case, as Doc found out. As you pushed on inside, you solved many puzzles, you fought some beings, and eventually were able to kill Arcanoloth. And after which, you both found what you're looking for. Dokrumir was able to contact Apollo, find this book, and increase his magical power and connection with Apollo, hence why he is now wearing the fancy robes. And Glyndon found what he was looking for as well. Glyndon, your thing is a little more intricate. Would you explain much about what's going on with you, or...
Well, not the stuff with me, but I would absolutely go into the vision.
Yes, so you say that you went there and found some answers, and within these answers was a vision of Tiamat within her temple in Avernus. And she was speaking to someone. At first you thought she was maybe speaking to herself, but no, it turns out that the god Bahamut, that everyone thought Tiamat had slain on the day she turned foul and dark, turns out Bahamut is alive and being held captive by Tiamat in Avernus. He's the god of metallic dragons, the platinum dragon, and she is siphoning off his power. He is behind bars inside her temple, and clearly no one else really knows about this, otherwise the gods might have gone in and done something. And maybe even if they did, they can't do anything. Either way, problems. You also had a vision of a young lad who was having terrible visions, similar to what Glyndon had back in Fort Jonah. Hence, Nathan. That is Nathan. You found him in Inksworth, you picked him up. He doesn't have a lot of family. He, in fact, has no family, or as far as he knows, his parents dropped him there when he was a young lad. And recently he's been getting, dropped him in the College of Bards in Inksworth when he was a young lad. And he's been getting visions of the end of the world, basically. Glyndon has now taken him as his ward, taken him as his trainee divination wizard, and yeah, Glyndon has a buddy.
There's also a bit in the vision of Tiamat so she was quite upset about Lolth dying, and
yes.
she was also like, "Oh, but they're going to feel the counterattack of," and I can't remember the name.
Queen Yara, I believe.
Yara, who is like a necromancer.
Yes, I believe what you said. What she said was Queen Yara will have to. What was that? I had it on the tip of my tongue. Queen Yara will have to hurry. Will basically have to hurry up her plans, basically, in order to, yes, as Glyndon said, counterattack.
So
this.
Outside of stuff, what we saw in the Shadowfell, that might be linked.
Yes, as you guys all know, Queen Yara, there's the famous tale of how Saint Caracan defeated Queen Yara many years ago, like 900 years ago, in Ambyr, freeing it from the oppression of her rule as the Necromancy Queen, as she was called. The Mad Queen, the Necromancer Queen, whatever you want to call it, she was basically all of it. Davyak hops in now and decides to say, "Hi, yeah, so me and Giri and Nevedo and Mittens, or I guess not really Mittens now, I guess we have to call him Maximilian now, he doesn't really have Mittens, and Balzanoff. We were all in the north. I was going up north to check out the sanctuary and what have you, but on the way I kind of got captured by this strange fiendish being. While captured, he made me trick all of these guys into taking me to a lair wherein he could get his former body back, and also try and summon a beast called the Tarask from the Feywild. That was basically his plan, but we stopped it. So, yeah. But also on the way back, we saw a bunch of undead, like undead orcs and goblins and stuff, get up, walk into a cave. They went into the Shadowfell, and we saw a horde of orcs and goblins and monsters of all kinds, undead, in the Shadowfell, walking south. That's bad. That's probably very, very bad. Yeah. So that's basically what we did. There's a bit more to it than that, but it's basically the run of the mill. Oh, yeah, and also we have a friend called Orson. He's not here right now. Actually, yeah, you probably would be right. You probably would be here. He's probably just like outside because he can't fit through the fucking door. At which point...
He's playing a game of chess with Kara in the stable.
Oh, I actually fucking love that. Just the thought that both of them are trying.
And he's losing.
He's losing really badly. Anyway, yes, and that is basically what they went through. Everyone being finally caught up. To go into a lot of the more intricate details of things like that, all of that probably takes close enough to an hour to get through everything. Angus has some comments he really, really wants to make, but he's trying to sit quiet for everyone to say anything. But first, is there anything you guys would want to say? Any of your characters would like to bring up? Any other points from catchings up, recent events that I might have missed and you guys might want to bring up?
Just catch everyone up on the situation that at least one of the council members knowingly has undead guards following him about and is quite chill with it, which seems weird.
Oh, damn. God damn.
And we're all invited to a giant ball.
Oh yeah, we're also all invited to
A ball, you say? Haha.
Yeah, I don't know how many tickets we've
You
got,
have
but-
currently 4. It's in a week's time.
But there's +1s, weren't there?
There are +1s with some exceptions. Yes, he's allowed Nathan to be a +1. Yes.
Plus ones with some exceptions. You can't have an 8-man party, Ben says.
I mean, you guys could have an 8-man party if you want, but good luck with combat. We thought it was long at first.
Yeah.
Oramis, wherever you got those guardian. We're not friends. Wherever you got that ring
You're right,
from.
we're brothers.
Wherever you got that ring from, I'd like another, because I gave mine to Markle. I thought he was an honorary member of this band.
Oh, that's great. Allow me to obtain one for you, my good
Thank you.
friend.
I need the HP, and it's a nice gesture.
At this point, Angus steps in and is like, did you lads say the Black Prophet?
Yeah, keep up, mate.
No, this Black Prophet, do you know his name? Do you know anything more about him?
The
Did he...
Black Prophet. That's his name.
That...
We know he went to the Silver
That's name V.
Hole and
Yeah.
went and did some stuff there. He freed a lot of prisoners, I think.
Because it's actually rather funny. I know of a Black Prophet. Well, I say I know. I don't really know. I was about to know. I was reading through some books one day, and I found this book on the family history of Albus R. And Albus told me specifically to stop looking in it. He's never got aggressive with me, but I mean, I was kind of scared for a moment that he'd blast me with his fire breath, because I tried to be cheeky and take another peek. And I did, and the words I managed to find were the Black Prophet. I think maybe Albus knows something about this guy. Maybe we could speak to him about that. Because, well, actually, that brings me on to my next point. Lads, I can do magic! And he summons in his hand these 2 little balls of, like, just shimmering, sort of like orangey, like warm, orangey red energy, and he sort of passes it in between his hands. So I'm a little bit like you, Oramis. I'm a bit of a warlock, it seems. I'm still getting the hang of it. And then suddenly this orb just flies into the ceiling, crashes through multiple, like the ceiling above you guys, and then the ceiling above, and the ceiling above, and the ceiling above, and just dust sort of sprinkles down on his hat. So it's like, I'm still getting the hang of it. Yeah, let's go, man. I'm still getting the hang of it. And I have a present for all of you. Glydan, you know about teleportation circles and teleporting and all that stuff, right? Sifts through his bag. Here, the teleportation circle to the castle of Albuzar.
Oh, thank you.
Well, we can bop about.
So,
Campbell,
if we wanted to, people could go up and ask him. I mean, I don't know how. It seems like a lot of these problems are happening at the same time. He attacked the Silverhold, and now there's lots of people under a cult with his name, and all this stuff's happening. And things are getting rather tense everywhere. But also, you said you've had this vision of things happening here, and it seems like everything's happening all at once. And I feel like, well, I don't know how you all feel, but I feel like it's probably better to divide and conquer in this instance. We don't know how long.
I think you might be right, yeah, Angus.
I feel like we don't know how long it might take to bring one down, and well, even if one takes a long time, well, at least we know the other one's being handled. I think. Anyway, was just an idea, but well, I was thinking, well, if you lads wanted, like I said, I know a little bit of magic, and I can, well, to save you on your spell doodads, young Glydan, I could get us up there, eh? And
You can cast teleportation.
I can. Are you proud of me?
I'm a little bit, yeah.
Thank you. Oh, Glydan Althor's proud of me. Oh, anyway, yeah, I can get us up there, and then we can speak to Albus, and you lads can see the land, the place. The people have built up there is nice. We got a tavern, lads. We got ale. We have drunk dragonborn in the north now. It's absolutely fantastic. I saw Albus drunk once.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
I saw Albus drunk once. It was awful. He nearly burned down the forest. The man cannot hold his liquor. I mean, I can't either. I'm tiny, but neither can he. So if people wanted to, there's the option of going up there and seeing what's going on. People would love to meet us all at some point. And then from, I guess, up there, we could split off. Some people go after this Black Prophet, whoever he turns out to be. Others go after this Queen, Yara.
Angus. Do you know my friend Moraine?
Aye, yeah. I remember you speaking about her, yeah.
Yeah. She had a vision of the capital being in trouble. So, as much as I agree with your idea of splitting, I don't think we should all go up north. I think that contingent should stay here. And potentially, I think this could be the site of another Dragon Priest attack.
Shite. Yeah, you might be right there. Alright, in which case, I guess those who are going after the Black Prophet, we can go talk to Albus, if that's what people fancy doing. And then those who don't, well, we can stay down here. They can stay down here, and they can figure that stuff out. Obviously, teleportation circle is a fairly quick and easy spell. If anyone needed to get anything from the north, any money, I know some of you left things up there. I totally didn't go through your things, but Oramis, why do you have an egg in your fucking chest? I mean, nothing.
Wouldn't you like to?
No eggs. I didn't see any eggs. I like eggs.
I love the fact that out of context,
I wouldn't crack the egg open.
out of context, people will just think Oramis has an egg. Rather than
The spirit of a vampire.
So I mean, what's
We should probably revisit that. at some
I mean,
point.
what's
I love
the
how it's just a hen's egg with Oramis's egg written on it. Do not touch.
I mean, what's the
Hands off.
what's the plan here, lads? I feel like all this is a lot's happening, and we need a plan. Daviak steps in. I agree. We need a plan. I'm seeing doubles of me. No, Mazzy. Right.
So not being drunk.
A general shit faced.
That's enough out of you. Out of you. Hi, Doc.
I shit face too.
I don't know. You can be if you want to be. Daviak has
Pretend
clearly
was.
been put. Daviak has clearly been putting him away. He's not had a time to chill out in a while, so he has put a couple more than is
We were
probably
having a
standard
bonding
away.
brotherly moment.
Absolutely,
We were drinking, getting smashed together.
absolutely, I love it. Yeah, absolutely love it. But yes, so what is the plan going forward then? This is a bit of a crossroads in our adventure. Who's doing what? Who's going where?
I feel like we need the A team staying down here.
Right, so
What
I'm
is the
just
A
going
team?
north.
As a hint, yeah, as a hint, Oramis, in the thing in the stuff in the capital,
The stuff and the things.
in the stuff and the things down in the capital, that is where your character will come in.
Yeah. Well,
So obviously,
Is he about to walk in?
obviously
the pub?
people don't. Obviously, you guys don't know that. But at the present moment, Daviak will also say that he is still a general. He is still needed up in Northgard. Giri, Balzanor, and Nevado, they say whenever he gets here, they can do whatever you guys want.
Oh.
If you guys wanted to say that you wanted to switch out characters and say that, you know, you guys wanted to play those at any point, you can. But otherwise, you kind of got 3 and 3, sort of.
well, of all the Guardians, I've not been back to the Sanctuary for a long time, so I'm willing to go and see our old friend Albus. Check on my things. Check on my painting on the wall.
I cannot decide whether Glyndon should go north or stay in the capital.
I think he would
So someone else
probably
make a decision,
say
please.
in the capital.
Well,
He's had the vision, isn't he?
if it's about communicating with Albers, Glyndon and Oramis having a history with him is more likely to be successful if that's how you want to rationalise Griffin staying here and smacking the shit out of a load of undead.
True.
Doc will stay here as much as he really wants to go back to the Sanctuary. If Glyndon's right and there's a load of undead coming, that's where he's most effective.
Yeah.
Okay, Oramis, sounds like you need a babysitter. Whenever there's no one responsible with you, you get into a lot of shit. So I'm going to come with
Who's
you.
that, Griffin or Glyndon?
Glyndon's going to go up to see Albert.
So Glyndon's going to the essentially this is where we're splitting off the arcs. So this is where whoever stays in the capital now will remain and do the Queen Yara arc, and whoever goes up north will be going and doing the Black Prophet arc, essentially. So yeah, if you want, Glyndon can go off in that direction and complete that arc if you'd like. Absolutely. It's fine. It is perfectly fine if you want. If you want to do that, I'll say that now.
I know what you're
But
about to
obviously, yes, there will be 2 paladins, both of the same subclass as well, down here
say. Yeah.
doing this stuff.
I guess it's just a case of which one's going to be better. And I think it's obvious, but
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it. You're both very different. They're both very different characters. and they both have, you know, obviously similar strengths, but you know, you got the Sorkadin and the Fighter Paladin. So, yeah, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying to keep that in mind out of game, obviously. But yeah, if you want to.
Got stock staying in the capital as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is Mazzy doing?
I have absolutely no idea because I don't know what the choices are.
He was out the room.
Okay.
Mazzy, I believe we discussed you were staying in the capital previously. I may be wrong, but yes, I believe we discussed that you were staying in the capital to help out there.
Basically,
for some things to come later.
Angus revealed that
I'll have to
Albus
see.
knows.
I'll let you guys
potentially
choose because I didn't hear what the issues were. I'll let you guys choose where my characters go because
Well, basically,
I
To be
don't-
fair, Mazzy is pissed, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but
Matt's the most in character out of all of us.
yeah, because
Angus told us that Albus potentially knows something about who the Black Prophet is, and suggested that because there's now a teleportation circle up there, a group of people go and speak to him. So Glydan and Oramis are going.
Basically, do you want to fight a cult, or do you want to potentially stop an undead siege?
Well, I think Balznor would be better with the undead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you
Burn the
if you want,
corpses.
yeah, if you want Balznor to hop along, then yeah, absolutely. That would mean you're playing Balznor next. You'd be playing him essentially again. You know, one arc after the other. If that's all right with you, then fine. Otherwise,
I don't really mind. It's fine.
yeah, cool. All right.
Not that D&D has form per se, but I would say with Balznor you're in pretty good form.
The counterspell cow, as it were. To be fair, that does kind of work out because then the spellcaster of the party, obviously Glyndon, leaving to go do the other arc, means that you still have a spellcaster down here. That works quite well.
Total party.
But I will say this party is now very. If I put someone flying up against this party, you guys are fucked. 2 paladins, a cleric. No, I guess Balznor can do some range
Yeah,
shit.
no, it's great.
Okay, so final tally then. We've got Glyndon, Oramis, Felix when he arrives back, and Mazzy going to the north to do the stuff with the Black Prophet. And we have Griffin, Galahad when he comes back,
Balznor.
Doc and Balznor staying here to fight Queen Yara.
Admin.
Sweet. All right. If you guys are absolutely sure, then that's what happens. A night is spent in this tavern as people are way too drunk to, or at least Angus and Mazzy are way too drunk to be casting teleportation
I don't know
circles
what
and
you're on
doing
about.
doing any of that stuff. Doing any of that stuff. And the very, very next morning, very, very early, you all gather sort of in one of the larger rooms that you all stay in. Daviak's paid for all of this out of his massive coin purse as being a general. You all step in one of these rooms, say goodbyes, wish each other luck, and teleportation. Oh,
There you go. I'm
Here
going to give
we
Glyndon
go.
Marcool's shield to put in my room for safekeeping.
fair enough. In which case, teleportation circles begun to cast. Angus goes with the group back up to see. What's his face? Albus. That's it. I've been saying it all this time and I forgot. And yes, as you inscribe the magical sigils, or at least as Angus inscribes the magical sigils on the floor, the swirling of this sort of golden, almost like sand or dust, begins to swirl around them, fill the air. It envelops them, so you can no longer see them anymore, and then it just whoosh, vanishes on the floor. The sigil on the floor vanishes, and so do your friends. Griffin, Griffin, Balzanor, and Dokrumir. A rather strange group, but hey, there we go. We got small, medium, and large.
Oh, could I give the tickets to the event to those 3?
Yeah, of course. Give the...
I don't know if we'll be back for it.
Yeah, of course. Well remembered. Give the tickets out. And then, Glyndon...
So, I don't know what's happening with... I'd say Giri would stay, and I won't play her, but she could be part of it in another way. I don't know. We can talk about that down the line.
Yeah, we can potentially talk about it down the line, but otherwise, Daviak's heading back north to keep the orcs at bay for the time being. She can go up there and potentially come back down as and when.
Oh, she'd probably stay in the capital.
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. We can figure something about that out at a later date. Cool, yeah, and they're off. And now we officially begin the next arc of the campaign. The Revenge of the Lich Queen. Bum, bum, bum. So, I ask of ye, then, mere mortals, it is a fresh new day. Balzanor, Griffin, Doc, what would you like to do?
Well, Griffin and I
How long is
are
it
cut
to the
from
party?
the same cloth in that we are both heavy armor favourers, and we've been told that this will not cut the mustard at a fancy ball.
Yes.
Just imagine Balzanor in a
Shopping.
Balzanor in a tux. What a sight.
It'd look like, when boxers wear suits. So it'd look like it'd be really tight and your arms just be like this.
No, Matt and
You're all
JJ
right.
wouldn't have a clue.
Yes. The way he made it seem, no weapons,
So
no
true.
armor.
Mr. Bitter Boy!
Yes. The way Councilman Hamish made it seem, no weapons, no armor, only, no weapons, no armor, only, it's a fancy event. You do somewhat need to dress up. And weapons and armor won't cut it. They'll be taken off you at the door. There are a lot of very important people there, and having people who are obviously very powerful arrive with
Weapons are my
weapons
religion.
is not good. So yeah, if you'd like, you can go sort stuff about that out.
What is this ball, sorry, Ben?
The ball is about 6 days from now.
What's
5 days from now. Sorry.
Alright.
So you have a little bit of time to figure a few bits out with whatever you feel the need to figure out. But at first, you can. If you want, you can go try and find somewhere where you can get some apt clothing. If you'd like. Or is there anything else anyone would like to be doing at this point?
Well,
Nope.
Can
Yes,
we
that's
figure
it.
out a method of wearing protective clothing that still cuts a fashionable look?
Well, that can potentially be something you address with the artisan who does your clothing. There are many different places in the capital that can do many different styles of clothing. Obviously, in the Falcon District, you're going to get a lot more variation on what you can get and what you can have, but it's going to be fucking pricey. The Cloud District, you can get, again, quite a bit of variation, though it's going to be fairly standard, prim and proper types of stuff. The Wind District, you're going to get, again, like very, very standard stuff. And the Root District, you're going to turn up and people are going to question what you're wearing. You'd stand out. Or at least you'd stand out more than a dwarf, an Aasimar, a human, potentially at some point, and a Minotaur. So, where would you guys go shopping for such items?
What's the
The fanciest one's in the Falcon District,
Falcon.
yes.
I feel like we have to go there because it is a ball at the main castle. Also, if we want to try and sow some sort of protection into it, like you said, JJ, maybe that's the better place to do it.
Yeah.
I think we'll head
Yeah.
there, have a look, see what the prices are, and
Cool.
Yeah.
then immediately walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be more likely. Oh, we should have done this
So-
before Oramis left.
So,
That's alright.
Well-
Griffin's pretty charismatic, right?
Yeah, not 15, but not terrible either.
Solid
Not
five.
-1.
solid +5. So you all begin to head to the Falcon District. It takes you a couple of hours to walk there in the morning. Some sore heads after a night of maybe heavy drinking, maybe not, depends on your characters. The day is particularly cloudy. One of those days where it looks like it could rain at any moment. This is a fantasy game. Let me play it out, please. Wind is a little bit cold, sort of rushing through the streets, but hopefully tomorrow will be a bit of a nicer day. As you begin to head into the Falcon District, a young man rushes up to you very, very quickly. He's wearing fairly sort of basic gear, and he has this satchel along his side. Oh, well, that's actually rather convenient. Oh, you're already heading here. I got this for you. You're Doc, right? Dokrumir, the dwarf, the guardian guy. Yeah. Yeah. Here you go. Hands you a letter. Do I get my payment, please?
Who paid you to deliver this letter?
We'll read the letter and you'll find out, but it's kind of customary that I get half on delivery, half on receival. You get it?
Well, if I'll read this, if there's anything in there about paying you, then we'll see. Otherwise, you've got to go speak to whoever paid you to deliver it.
But she was scary.
And
Oh, just
Point. Can I just sort of like loom over the behind him and just sort of with my big horns and just grunt or like really loudly?
yeah.
Like a
He
predator.
just turns around. Yeah, he just begins to see this like light shadow sort of loom over. Falls over, begins to fucking like sprint off. Is I'm sorry, I was lying. Runs off. And you can.
It's quite
read.
an intimidating trio.
This is a rather intimidating trio, yes. A very, very intimidating trio indeed. AC is going to be a problem. I have to beat 20 plus AC for 3 out of the 4 characters here. I'm fine. Bring it on. So, you read the letter, and this is from Artemisa. She explains that she would like you to meet her in Juliana's Arcane Cafe. It is in the Falcon District. In fact, reading this, you remember you've been there before. And Oramis broke a vase that cost 150 gold pieces. So thankfully, he is not here as well. She says it's of the utmost urgency, and you need to come right away. Someone has gone missing, and she would rather like your help.
okay.
So if you want, you can head there now. You can head there after getting some fancy clothing and stuff like that. It's entirely up to you.
Probably JJ's call. It's not overly urgent that we get clothes, is it?
No, we've got like 5 days. Although, let's go speak to her and then see what happens.
Yeah.
Because if we need something made, it might take a little while.
Yeah. You head over to Juliana's Arcane Cafe, this lovely, almost Greek temple-looking place around, along the outside, at the very least, all these columns all dressed along the outside, these vines hanging from them, beautiful and decadent. As you approach, these flowers begin to blossom and bloom, and these 2 arcane hands, these mage hands, wearing these fine sort of white gloves, appear as you enter and open the door in a very elaborate sense. As you enter, there's a bar in front of you and tables all around the area. It's still fairly early in the morning, but people are coming here for well, it's not really early in the morning, actually. It's probably around sort of, by the time you walked over there, at the very least, it's about midday. And people are having sort of light lunches. You can smell the fine smells of wine and Prosecco and champagne and stuff in the air. Fine meats and cheeses of light lunches, predominantly, that this place serves, though it does make you a little bit hungry as you enter with the pungent smells that fill the air around you. Like I said before, the place is filled pretty much mostly of marble. It's like almost entirely made of beautiful marble, except for the tables that are carved with the finest woods, and vines and things dangle from the ceilings, and all sorts of beautiful stuff happens. And there's illusions sort of way up high in the sort of near the ceiling alcoves of these small stars that glitter and shine. As you look over away, you can see there's a stage. On the stage, there is a woman currently singing. She's a dwarven woman, fairly sort of like mid-average height. She has this beautiful hair that's sort of done back in this extremely elaborate headpiece that flows down her back. She's a fairly, elegant woman, especially for a dwarf. Even dwarven women in Ambyr are known to be fairly surly, able to protect herself. Not that she can't protect herself, of course, but she is fairly... she still looks fairly able, but very sort of elegant and beautiful. Dokrumir, you immediately recognize this woman as Artemisa. Artemisa is, at the present moment, singing a song to the amassing crowd. It's a rather slow song in a language that none of you quite recognize until you realize it's like a very, very old version of Common, almost like how we would sort of read Shakespearean. It's a beautiful song, but very, very slow, meant to just sort of help people. It's not meant to be a spectacle, almost. It's just meant to be an aid with the food, I guess. And as she's singing the song, you do recognize... she does recognize that you've entered. And she almost glances an eye over at a gentleman, and then looks back at him. This gentleman looks at her and then clocks you. Ah, hello, gentlemen. Welcome to Juliana's Arcane Cafe. Is it just the four of you for luncheon today? The three of you, sorry. Three of you for luncheon today?
We have a meeting?
Yes, I believe she is currently a little busy singing for the crowd. But she has asked that we spare no expense in a small little luncheon for you, just to while you prepare, while you get ready. I must have been to her much earlier than she was anticipating. You must have already been in the area, which is surprising, he says as he looks at the massive fucking Minotaur. But yes, if you would follow me this way. Walks over to this small table in the very back corner. Yes, as you've clearly pointed out, spared no expense is in quotation marks. It's this crummy little table in the corner that you could barely fit like a plate onto. And some plates are brought out to you, but these little tiny plates with like hors d'oeuvres and small little crackers of this butter that's just way too fancy to even be considered butter anymore. And a small little like sort of glass flute of like champagne is brought over to each of you, which is so small it's literally the size of Balzanol's fucking hand. Like, you could fit more alcohol or liquid in his horn, let alone like one of these little glasses. As you all sit down, little flower blossoms, and you are sat waiting there for about an hour while she finishes her set. As time rolls on, is there anything anyone would like to do, or are you just waiting as the hour goes by?
Don't know why we're here.
Fair enough. The hour goes by, the crowd claps sort of very, very silently, very, very briefly before people get back to their lunch. People come and go, many, many people come and go. Everyone make a quick perception check for me, please.
I really thought I was going to get through this session without having to roll a single dice.
Not on my watch, bitch.
Oh, I need to get Balzamir up. Whee.
You do. Have you leveled up Balzamir either? Probably not.
Well, the
Didn't
way
think
this is
so.
going, I doubt
Long-
we're going to
long-
get into... Well, it's unlikely
Yeah,
we're going to get into
to be-
anything
to be fair.
serious.
To be fair, yeah. But yeah, for next session,
I'll just
probably
do a
good
hit dice
to
for
probably
health.
good to level. Yes, yeah. Do that. Why not? And roll a perception check to
Oh.
see if you can
I've
beat anyone
Clicked
else.
it. Has it come through?
There we go. 6.
Don't know.
That's fair. Yeah. So
And perception
Griffin.
check.
Yes. It. So add 6 to thingies. Perception 5. That makes sense. Yeah. So Balzano, you're sat here. You're not really paying much attention. Just amazed at how fancy this place is. Griffin, you're in a similar vein.
Tiny glasses and he's trying to get it out without breaking it.
Griffin, you're probably in a similar vein, but you're just wondering like, why are we here? Why are we not doing more? You're getting a little impatient.
Yeah.
But Doc, you're spending a little bit of time looking at Artemisa and then looking sort of around the room. Very like what happened the other day with Councilman Hamish is ringing in your mind, and you notice just a few tables over, there are 2 gentlemen sat, both with books. Every so often, look up at you. Just look up. Every now and again, and you catch their eye one too many times. To look up and catch someone looking at you isn't anything particularly strange. You know, people's eyes wander, they don't realize they're looking at you, that's fine. But then you look back and realize they're still looking at you. And then they look away and you look away. Fine. 2 times. Fair enough. Maybe it's just mind wandering again or recognizing us as the Guardians. Who knows? 3rd time. Looking directly at you again. 4th time. Looking at you again. And he's being very, very subtle, but the way you're constantly keeping an eye out, you just manage to catch him every single time. What should I do?
Lads, we're being watched. Roll by. What do these people look like? They're just like ordinary...
Yeah, just
Interesting.
ordinary folk. They are wearing, I mean, they clearly fit in with the crowd. They're wearing quite fancy sort of tailcoat types of things. They're 2 gentlemen, both of which have fairly sort of short hair. They wear rings on their fingers. They have gloves over their hands, these very sort of ornate and lovely white gloves over their hands, tailcoat sort of pushed back. They know how to present themselves in such a place of decadence. You've never really seen these gentlemen before, but with the amount of sort of slick they've put back in their hair and even slight makeup on their face, you can tell even from here, they at the very least know how to act around these people or how to portray themselves to these people. Whether they are one of these people or not is up to you.
You say we're being watched, Doc?
Yeah.
They are both also armed. Both of them have rapiers at their sides. Many people in here have rapiers on their sides. Many people have weapons that are more for show rather than actual use. And these gentlemen have these very fine, very polished, shining rapiers on their sides with these golden hilts.
Okay.
Very, very lovely.
I'm a little bit wary of the situation, given everything that went on with Hamish a couple of days ago. So I'm going to cast Detect Good and Evil again.
Detect Good and Evil. You cast Detect Good and Evil, and something rings on your senses. 2, in fact, things read on your senses. 2 undead creatures sat at a table not far from you, both reading books, looking up at you. These 2 creatures, in fact. Though this is strange, they're different from the previous ones that you saw when Councilman Hamish brought them over. When you looked at these ones, you recognized, yes, they're not talking, they're not doing anything. These guys are actually talking amongst each other. They're laughing, they're clapping, they're engaging with certain things. But it is just every so often they look up at you and they look around. And you begin to realize that as they're looking at you, it's almost like, they're putting this on a little bit.
Are they like visibly dead? Like, or do they just look like normal humans?
They look like regular people. As I said, they have a little bit of makeup on, but I mean, Doc can tell that from here already. But no, they do not look visibly dead at the present moment.
Do we take this outside, Dokrumir? I'll just click a knuckle or two.
I don't think we start anything.
Oh, you're not as fun as Oramis. I watched that man rip a guy's neck out.
I was honestly then about to get the bar brawl rules back up.
Don't put him away, Ben. It's because Doc's suggesting something doesn't mean it's what's going to happen.
As the crowd around you sort of gets back to their lunch and things like that, a woman walks up to you, this very same dwarven woman who is singing. She pulls a chair from another table and sits down. Ah, gentlemen, Doc, you have some new friends. Hello, my name is Artemisa. You may have heard a few of my songs, heard me around the place. And you are, looks towards the Minotaur sat next to her. Your name, good sir?
I am Balsanor.
Lovely. Very strong name. And your friend.
Yes.
Would I be correct in thinking you're an Aasimar, sir?
It's a shallow question. Is Artemisa quite attractive?
JJ, is she quite attractive? This is a NPC you came up with, so.
Yeah, I mean, she's a dwarf. She's a bard, so she knows how to present herself and play on people's attractions and things like that.
Okay.
Yes, she is. Yeah,
she
very
says,
attractive.
"Are you an Aasimar?" I'm gonna just take a hand to shake it, and then just give it a little kiss and just say, "With all the charm of one as well."
Yeah.
Dokrumir, you really have got in with some rather elegant crowds in your time.
He is quite handsome.
Yes.
Anyway,
Well, this has.
those two gentlemen over there, do you know their names? Have you seen them before?
No, can't say I have. Obviously, I'm not from the capital. I don't really know many people here. I mean, this is just a job to get me by from
No,
until
they were regulars or anything like that.
No. If I'm honest, I'm only really here for the next week, just something to get me by until the large party at the castle. Are you invited? I would have thought maybe the Guardians might be invited. Such
Yes,
as why.
we are. About that, there is a slight concern. I hope it doesn't put you off performing, as we may need to rely on your help. We have been invited, but the two gentlemen over there, along with a number of guards surrounding Glydan and Hamish, have detected are undead.
Are you sure?
Yes,
She looks
you know
over at them
the
again, but then just
Glydan?
yes,
He-
yes, I remember him.
The one with the power to see visions and things like that. He had a vision of the capital being attacked by a large, army of undead. We have been trying to warn people about it for a little while now, and we've encountered quite noticeable resistance, even against taking some of the most basic precautions. Indeed.
I mean, are the visions of this Glyndon always true?
And we have detected that he himself is willingly followed by an undead cohort of guards.
Oh,
And now I've detected these two gentlemen watching us.
maybe we should then take this just into the back. I do have a dressing room while I'm performing here. I can take us into there where we might be a little less watched. There is also a way out the back that way. So if you wanted to quickly get away without them seeing you, maybe that might be a little more apt as well.
Slip a tail.
Thank you. Well, if you'd like to follow me out to the back, I'm assuming you're here because of the letter I sent. I'd like to discuss that, of course. And she leads you around through many a table. Balsanor, as you're moving through, you actually bump a lot of tables, and you can just hear the escape just as tables are moving throughout. And with you, Griffin, like your heavy plate armor, like pushing around, and Doc as well. You guys do not fit into this crowd at
Not
all.
made for this place.
And like people just saying like, "Oh, that armor is so loud," as they're trying to like eat their meals and things like that. You notice a fair few maidens and gentlemen as well looking over in your direction. Like, knight in shining armor. But otherwise, you guys make it to the back into a small. A room, a rather pitiful excuse for a dressing room. You know, Artemisa, she's fairly famous around Amber for being a bard. She probably had much better than this, but it is a room nonetheless with a large sort of chaise lounge type of thing, another sort of sofa, sort of velvet sofa, large rug on the floor, mirrors and perfumes and makeups of all sorts. She sits down and says, well, I don't know if what I'm going to ask has anything to do with anything to do with what's going on here, but like I said, no better way to put it. A friend of mine. I say friend. My partner is missing. Musical partner.
What's
he-
a few?
He and I have been in this business for a while together, and very occasionally we meet up and we do performance acts together. We both play the violin, we both sing. It rather thrills the crowd. We have good chemistry, you see. And we have both, not just I, but we have both been invited to perform at the soiree next week in the castle. We've been practicing for the last few weeks. We need to get this perfect. I mean, supposedly the whole council, even the king, might be there. It is for his father and everything. But he came to the first night of practice, and then he was so eager to come to the second, but he had to cancel. Sadly, his family died at a young age. You don't need to know any of this. He went to visit his parents in a graveyard just outside of the capital, along the cliffside. You might know the one. This was 2 days ago. He went to visit them, and he never came back. I've gone and asked the city guard. His brother, in fact, is a guardsman at the northern gate. He said he saw him leave, but he never saw him come back. I went to the graveyard myself to see maybe if he was there, if he'd taken a fall or something. I know that place is a little bit iffy, but going there seemed to be guards watching the gate. I mean, I've never heard of a guarded graveyard before. But they said I couldn't go in. They said I couldn't go in. It was being refurbished, redone. There was construction being done, and it was unsafe to be in there. But I could tell what they were saying was half truths. I didn't want to go storming in alone, causing all the fuss. I don't want to overplay my part in what is happening. But I was hoping maybe as guardians and stand-up members of society, you might be able to go and maybe take a look, see if he's maybe still there. I mean, his brother would have kept an eye out for him. He would have seen him if he had come back through the gate. I worry about him. I do. Anything you could do in this matter would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, all right.
What's his name? Who are we looking for?
His name is Jarl Summerlock.
You're gonna have to spell that for me.
Jarryl. Summerlock. Summerlock.
Thank you.
That's a bard's name if I've ever heard one.
Okay. Yes, I mean, we'll go and take a look around the graveyard.
That-
See if we can. I'm uncomfortable doing it. This is Oramis' thing to flaunt his name. But
Well, not even flaunt your name, but I mean, I'm but a single person. I didn't really feel comfortable going up to. I mean, and I'm not from here either. I didn't really feel comfortable going up to several guards and demanding being let in or causing any fuss. Of course, things being what they are, and I'm sure they had their reasons. But yes, I'm not asking you to do anything you're uncomfortable with. I would just really appreciate some help in this matter.
well, we have some things to attend to. I don't know whether you can be of any help out to me, sir. Your magic's now a little bit different to mine, but we're looking for ways to, given everything that's happened in the last few days and the suspicions we have, we do not think this ball may be entirely safe. We're looking for ways to protect ourselves inside while still cutting the appearance of the finer classes.
I may have an idea.
You know, I'm more proficient in cracking skulls than clinking glasses.
Of course. Well, how's about this then? Should you go investigate this, I will get you an appointment with my personal tailor. She is a fine woman and can craft anything out of anything to look good anywhere. I'm sure she can.
Just needs a word with Albers. He forgot to mention something to tell him. He just really needs to Glyndon to teleport him. He's just got something to say.
Yes, I'm sure she's a fine woman. She does hail from Inksworth herself. She has a way of enchanting clothing. It's particularly fabulous. She's done many a piece for me and many a piece for my friends that have hailed from at fancy galas and whatnot. I'm sure she can come up with something for you, and well, maybe I can try and get you a bit of a discounted price for that.
Well, that sounds ideal and saves us a good amount of time running around this district where I'm sure you can see none of us really belong.
Yes, I think this may be the first time a Minotaur has ever walked through the Falcon district of Ambyr. Not that
I'm making scratch marks on the wall, on the ceiling with my horns.
You are slightly, yeah.
Yes. I like to think that Balzanor's got proficient in this, and he's just everywhere he goes. He's just like,
I'm painting a picture, Spain.
Depending on how long he stays there, it's just B A.
Balzi was here. It's just written on the ceiling. Or he's just written gullible, and then every now and again he goes, gullible's written on the ceiling.
I don't think Balzi was that smart enough to work that one out. He'll probably start looking every time someone else mentions it.
Yeah. So yes. If you get that done, I will get you an appointment. I'm sure she can even create something for you, Sir Balzan. I'm sure that she would love a challenge. Anyway, I do believe she sort of rummages through her desk and finds a small little pocket watch, and crap, I'm on in another 10, and I must grab a glass of water. My throat is parched. And I should probably have some lunch as well. Oh, I'm all over the place today. Jar usually reminds me of these things. Thank you, Dokrumir. The quicker you could do this, the better. We need to practice, and I need him back. If you get my meaning. Anyway.
Can I advise, my lady, if you've been seen talking with us, that you might just want to keep an eye on your behind. What on earth is that phrase? Just keep, just keep an eye on someone might be following you.
I will certainly. Yes.
Keep an eye out.
Thank you.
Too many more of the gentlemen similar to the ones at the front. If you pick up on them, let us know, and I will come and. I wouldn't wish to start seeing, but well, they're not really people, are they? They need to be dealt with. The undead.
Made
Well,
me dead.
Yes, yes, of course. Brilliant, thank you. Anyway, the back entrance is just this way. If you can follow me, and you slip out the door down a long, sort of very, very narrow corridor where there's all sorts of waiters sort of walking back and forth. You step past the kitchen in several places, and there's chefs cooking all sorts of stuff, and this smell of just luscious beef and steak and things like that. Preparations for this evening just fill your nose. At the end of this long corridor, move down into the lower cellar, and from the lower cellar there is another stairway up. She pulls some keys out of her bag, unlocks a door, and you appear in another shop just next to this one. This is a perfume shop. Very, very fancy perfumes. It seems their cellars somewhat interconnect. As she steps through, don't mind, Janine. They're just friends of mine. Oh yes, dear. Don't worry about that. Waves goodbye. Thank you very much. I will be. You'll find me here. Take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Hope
Good to
this
see
is
you as always. And, just give her a quick
good to
hug,
see
and
you.
then we'll be on our way, I guess, to this graveyard.
Absolutely. Locks the door behind her, steps away, and yes, and I think we'll call it there with you guys on the way to this graveyard. And in the next session, we will see what happens as we get the third arc swiftly underway.